Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And through the Spirit, I wanted to get into this lesson. As you can see in the title, how will you be remembered? All right, 3 exclamation marks. And I was meditating on a topic to go into. Sometimes the scriptures are not sometimes the scriptures are so vast, and there's so many different topics and kinds of lessons that you can get into. So sometimes it's the I don't even know if that's a saying, but the illusion of choice. Or sometimes they say when you have so many options, you feel like you have no options, and vice versa. But anyway, the point is, the Spirit hit me with this lesson, and so Lord willing, to be edifying and exhorting onto the elect. And how will you be remembered? Ultimately, going into in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai first and foremost. Okay, because as we say, number one, the reason that we were called into this truth. Now, glory, glory, recognition, all of that those are things that come naturally, with certain instances that that happen, right? But at the core of it all, when you're working for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you got to have the focus. Okay, the focus. As a matter of fact, I want to start off by looking up that word focus. You got to have focus on the ooh, this is interesting. We have here focus, point of convergence. Now let's look up the word converge. Definition. It says here, tend to meet at a point. Diverge is the opposite. Converge is to meet at a point. It says hearth, fireplace, fire, point of convergence. So they're pretty much saying the same thing, right? Here it says to bring into focus, and ultimately it goes into, look, it says here, sense to transfer to center of activity or energy. Okay, so basically the when they say focal point, that means you gotta narrow. Okay, you gotta narrow down all these different thoughts and priorities and things that come up in your mind, and focus, block out all the unnecessary things, and highlight and emphasize what truly matters. Okay, and when you serve in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, your focus should be on how you're serving the Lord and how much effort you're putting into the work, into doing the work of the Lord. So when I say how will you be remembered, really it starts with in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because just like we all have opinions and mindsets and we all have our thoughts on different individuals. The Lord also has his thoughts on different individuals. The Lord has his eyes on, he knows who works what kind of way, he knows who's known for what, and there's certain men of old that we read of in the scriptures, and we know about them today because of the things that the Lord, put the Spirit on them to do. But when you look at these men, our forefathers, and the things that they did, the core of it wasn't about seeking recognition. The core of it was about getting the work done. And in the process of getting the work done, with how far they were willing to go to do the work of the Lord, the recognition came, the glory with that, it came with that. But their focus, their goal was on accomplishing the task that the Lord had put before them. And as the scriptures say, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Now, whether you are a prophet, a brother, a sister, if you are a believer in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, there's always something you can do to serve the Lord. And then one of the most important things is when you come into the truth is finding out what talent do you have? What are you good at? Of course, there's an overall overall guideline and protocol that you have to follow, but we all have points that we are or certain areas that we are more strongly suited for. And when you tap into that, that's when you'll find yourself being able to just do the will of the Lord, as you don't feel like it's forced. You don't feel like you're doing something that it's being done because you don't want somebody on your back, or anything to that effect. You will passionately and sincerely and desirously want to do the will of the Lord. I mean, if it's within you, that is. But anyway, I want to start off with this precept here in Isaiah, the 26th chapter, because this chapter is a very beautiful chapter. And as much as we go into the the hard times that are coming, the judgments. Hey, a part of prophecy is the MOTB. A part of prophecy is the World War III, the famines, the chaos, the martial law, the pestilence. But a part of prophecy is also getting delivered from those things. Okay, a part of prophecy is also the kingdom of heaven coming to pass. But we more so heavily push especially the MOTB, because yes, deliverance is going to come. But if you are not able to overcome that hurdle before it, then that's going to be another story for you. So this is Isaiah 26:1. It says, "In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. Salvation will God appoint for walls and bulwarks," which, like it says, this in that day will this song be sung. So clearly, salvation is not a tangible thing in the sense of being able to build walls. You can't go and say, I want to order 6 bags of salvation and mix it up and put some bricks in there and build walls of salvation. This is in a poetic way. Okay. When you have walls and let's look into the word bulwarks. Let's see. All right, it says Chayal, rampart, fortress, wall, right? So when you have a fortress or a wall, it's to protect you, it's to shield you, it's to keep you safe inside. You're protected by it, right? So in essence, it's saying salvation will the power appoint for walls and bulwarks, which is just metaphorical, meaning that the Lord is going to deliver us with salvation. We're going to be protected. Verse 2, it says, "Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in." And the righteous nation is the nation of Israel, but it starts with the elect, because the scriptures say that except the Lord had left us a remnant, we should have been like unto Sodom and unto Gomorrah. So the rest of the nation is going to come through the loins of the elect. All right. So the righteous nation is Israel, but it starts with the elect of the nation of Israel. You have the Israel, which is the chosen nation, but then you have the Israel of God, which is the elect, the chosen of the chosen nation. It says, "Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee." Because that trust in the Lord is going to allow you to dispel all the worrying. A lot of worrying comes from uncertainty. There was a quote, I forgot who exactly said it, but they said, it was actually a couple of different quotes, but they all sort of echo around the same idea, right? And one of them was, we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. Okay, which when you think about it, oftentimes you'll find yourself thinking about a situation that hasn't happened yet and may not actually happen the way you're thinking about it. But you're thinking about the worst case scenario. You're thinking about how bad it's going to be. You're anticipating the kind of suffering you're going to have to go through. And then you find yourself stressed. You find yourself putting yourself in a bad mood, in a mood of already going into this situation stressed out and depressed. And then what if this situation doesn't happen at all? What if you don't even have to go through this? You're making yourself suffer over something that hasn't happened, and then it might not happen, and that comes from those what if thoughts. But what if I go and I don't get? What if I have an interview? What if I go and I don't get the job? What if this? What if that? That's why faith is so important, because with faith you leave it up to the Lord, and in order for when you have faith, in order for it to work, you have to believe. Okay, so you can't have room for what ifs. Okay, and then the second quote was, "He suffers more who suffers before it is necessary." If you don't have to suffer, why do you make yourself suffer in your mind? If you're not going through something, why suffer that thing in your mind when it's not necessarily a reality, when it might not ever be a reality? You're suffering because you're thinking, what if this becomes reality? What if it doesn't become a reality? See? So as as it says, thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Because when you have the Lord in your thoughts, you're not worried about what ifs, because the Lord doesn't deal with what ifs. Everything that is the Lord. That's why his name is Yahweh, he is. And the scriptures say, he that cometh to the Lord must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So you're not going to be stressing in your mind. You're going to be at peace, because any stressful thought that may come to your mind, you're able to dispel it with the faith in the Lord. That, you know what? Why worry about this situation? The Lord said, don't don't worry about the evil. The evil for tomorrow, it's going to take care of itself. Right? It's sufficient for the day. Take it one step at a time. Take it one day at a time. When you think of everything and, I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to do this, sometimes you got to learn to break things down. That's why we have breakdowns and we go verse by verse. And then before you know it, you've gone through a whole chapter. Okay, but it's one step at a time. You can't overload yourself. The task may be huge, but that's why you break it up into smaller tasks, and then you do one thing, and then after you're done with that, you move on to the next. And before you know it, you've done what you need to do. But the point is, the word stayed goes into what? Support. Okay? So it says here, going back to the verse, Isaiah 26:3, thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Right? Because your mind is supported by the Lord, because you're constantly meditating. You've given your mind to the law of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It says, because he trusteth in thee. Yeah, so whatever situations come upon you, you immediately think of the Lord, because you trust the Lord and you trust that he will be able to deliver you from it. And when you do that, you don't have a reason to be stressed. Because the scriptures say that nothing is impossible with the Lord. Verse 4, trust ye in the Lord Yahweh forever, for in the Lord Yahweh is everlasting strength. Strength that won't fail. Okay, strength that no matter if you call on the Lord at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 p.m., 12, 1 p.m., the strength is always there. The Lord is not gonna fall asleep. His ears are not short. His hands are not short, neither are his ears heavy that he can't hear you. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high, the proud, as it goes on to say, the lofty city, he layeth it low. And if you look, you look around today, an example is Babylon. What city is prouder and loftier than this? You know, really all the regions that Esau controls. But what's going to happen to it? The Lord is going to lay it low. As a matter of fact, dealing with Babylon, which is America, the Lord is going to make it so low, it's going to be a desert. Okay, the line of confusion is going to be drawn upon it, where you won't be able to recognize that there was even a city or a civilization over here. It says, he layeth it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. And that's what, Lord willing, we're going to get to witness upon this place. Verse 6, the foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor and the steps of the needy. And who are the poor? Generically, right? It's Israel, because of the condition that we are in. And when you take the parable that the Lord gave of the rich man and Lazarus, who did Lazarus represent? Us, the Israelites. Now, you have people that will take that. It's interesting how people will take that, right, and they'll come up to you and say hell is a real place because of this scripture. And then you read up a couple of verses above it and say, yo, you realize this is a parable, right? No, that's what it says in the Bible. That's what it says in the Bible. Do you define to me what a parable is? That don't matter right now. This is what it says. It says it was hell. You know, but hey, people throw away common sense to prove a point without realizing that without common sense, the point doesn't make sense. But you know, that's people today. So it says, verse 7, the way of the just is uprightness. Thou most upright dost weigh the path of the just. Right. So who better to weigh our uprightness and our righteousness than the most upright? Okay, because he is the most high. Every concept, everything that you can think of, the Lord is the inventor of it, because all things come from the Most High, and by him all things consist. It says, and as it says, he doth weigh the path of the just. Okay, so the works that you do, and not only that, but even your thoughts, you know, and the mindset that you carry, all these things are factored in. The Lord is looking at how are you being influenced by the word. You know, are you actually sincerely a believer, or are you just here? You know, are you just a member of the club? It says, verse 8, yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. And that's the spirit you want to have sincerely within you, because when you have a spirit like that, you have no problem, you know, serving the Lord. You don't find serving the Lord overall as a burden. Now, there's certain, you know, times when you feel heavier, when you feel more lazy because you may have certain spirits on you. But overall, you don't the scriptures say teaching the word of the Lord not by constraint but willingly. You have to, when you seek something, that's out of you, that's intrinsic. Okay, you're intrinsically motivated to do that. And it has to just naturally be within you. It says, for when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Why? Because the judgments of the Lord are righteousness is learned through the judgments of the Lord. That's why there are penalties for certain actions. And how is the judgments of the Lord going to come upon the earth? Well, it's going to start during Jacob's trouble, but after the Lord delivers his elect and sets up the righteous proper order in the earth, the judgments of the Lord are going to go out accordingly, and the earth will flourish with righteousness. Verse 10, let favor be shewed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. So who's the wicked? When you go to the book of Malachi, the first chapter, it tells you that the wicked is Esau Edom. He is the border of wickedness. Okay, let favor be shown, and this as we go into, you'll see is referring also to the Amalekites, because, or the 40, was it 49ers, 49ers, I think we call them, small hats. It says here, yet will he not learn righteousness. And that's why the scriptures say they're like the deaf adder that stoppeth the ear. So really, you trust me, ain't no. It's like if what's a good example here? That's like if Jacob Rothschild, Evelyn Rothschild, David Rockefeller, freaking damn, what are some other names? Alfred Mindler, that I think that's one of them. I'm not even sure, but you take some of these people, George Soros, and then and all these people, Klaus Schwab, and then that's like if they were to go and grab somebody like Samuel or Elijah, and they were to try and teach Samuel or Elijah the ways of the cabal, or the ways of the left hand. Those are your odds. Like, you imagine going up to a prophet, like Elijah, or like Samuel, or and trying to sit them down, and being a Rothschild, trying to explain to them why, what your wickedness is about, and why they should get into your wickedness. Do you hear how you're gonna sound? So, like it says, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness, because you're not going to turn the elect wicked, just like you're not going to turn the wicked righteous. Only not even members of the nation of Israel, not every one of them is going to get delivered. Not every one of them is going to be able to receive this word. How much less ones that have been created to be the wicked? The scriptures tell you in Isaiah 53 that they go astray as soon as they be born. As soon as they be born. Why? Because the spirit that is in them is not upright. And the scriptures tell you, who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing? So it says, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. And what is the land, or where is the land of uprightness? It's the land of Israel. And what are they currently doing in there? They're doing unjust dealings. Okay. And will not behold the majesty of the Lord. When you go around and say you have kosher pork, that's when you know that I mean, at that point, you shouldn't even, I don't even know. Okay. And you have alternative lifestyle parades. They're defiling the land. And that's why that land needs to be cleansed. And that's why the Lord is turning up the spirit in Gog and Magog to go ahead and do just that. Okay. And it tells you that also in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. That land is going to be touched. Okay. It's going to be purified. But as it says, verse 11, Lord, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yea, the fire of thine enemies shall devour them. And what's going to be that ultimate fire? The nuclear fire. All right, it says, Lord, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou hast wrought all our works in us. See, so when you do right, you get rewarded. It's a very simple formula. Find what the directions are and just do them. But the scriptures talk about the simplicity in Yahushua, which is too much for certain people. Honestly, when the Lord gave us everything, I say this over and over again, that the Lord gave us all the blueprints for success. He gave us all the ingredients. Like, we didn't have to go and purchase the ingredients. The Lord got the ingredients for us. He got us the recipe. He got us the utensils. He put within us the skills we need. Literally, all you have to do is like the Lord asked you to make an omelet, and you already have the eggs, you have the bowl, you have the fork, you have the oil, you have the frying pan, you have the stove, you know how to cook. You have the spices, you have everything you need, and you still can't make an omelet. Now there's a problem. Now there's a problem, because now you can't turn around and look outside and try to blame it on somebody else, because the Lord looks at you like, my man, I literally, like, I didn't just give you everything you need. I prepared you for success. Like, you had to have tried hard to fall off this path, But if you do the right thing, you'll be rewarded. And we know what the right thing is according to the Lord. We know what the Lord wants us to do. We know what he requires us to do. So do it. Because when you read in the book of Leviticus, and in Exodus, and it tells you it tells you how when somebody commits iniquity, right? If somebody offends and trespasses against the laws of the Lord in any way, shape, or form, whether they don't know, they're not aware of it, and it happens out of ignorance, they're still guilty because the Lord, when you go off, all right, going off is not just, committing sin or going off is not based on whether you know it or not. Okay. Ultimately, it's based on whether you do it or not. You're judged by what you do. That's why the Lord has mercy. Because when the Lord has mercy, he's not just looking at your actions, he is now weighing in what were your intentions. That's where mercy comes in. If the Lord was to say, I'm not going to have mercy, he would judge us based off of our actions and our deeds. And the scriptures say, if the Most High was to count iniquity, who shall stand? None of us. Because you commit sins that you're not even aware of. And the Lord can literally say, well, you're still guilty because you did it. It's not whether you do, well, Lord, I didn't know. I didn't know. But the law is not on whether. The law doesn't say he that knows he's committing murder and commits it anyway is he got to pay for this. It says thou shalt not commit murder. See, so even in that, there's a great deal of mercy that the Lord shows us. But I brought that example out to say that whether you know that what know you're aware of what you're doing or not, it's about what you've done. It's about what you've done. Ultimately, that's going to be what the Lord is looking at. So in terms of doing the work of the Lord, that's what the Lord cares about. Now there's things that come up here and there, but what is the Lord going to weigh in the balance when he comes back? He's not going to weigh excuses. He's not going to weigh things that you have to say, and he's going to weigh what you've done. He needs tangible proof. He needs to show me the work that you've done. That's what I'm here to deal with. I'm not dealing with, you can tell me all you want about how this happened and this stopped you and this slowed you down, but I need to see the work. When the Lord gave the parable about the talents, and when the rich man came back, what did the last individual who was given one talent come to the Lord with? He came to the Lord with excuses, a whole bunch of excuses, and only one talent. And what happened? The Lord said, my man, after everything you've said, you still only have one talent. I don't care what excuse you have to say to me. I'm looking at how many talents have you made in addition to the one that I gave you. That is what holds weight. That's what I'm looking at. Because what am I going to weigh? How do I, okay, you can tell me this, you can tell me that, you can tell me this, but how do I see what you've actually done? I need to see the product. If I hire you to work, right, and I come back and the work is not done, regardless of what you tell me, the work is still not done. And I'm not paying you to not do work. I'm paying you to do the work, right? That's what the contract says. So carrying on, verse 12. Lord, thou will ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought all our works in us. O Lord Yahweh, our power. Other lords beside thee have had dominion over us. Yeah, which time and time again, when we were in the different captivities, we've had different nations and kings been over us. Okay, it says, but thee only will we make mention of thy name, or Slakia, but by thee only will we make mention of thy name. So we don't regard them as our lords, just like Mordecai did not regard Haman as a lord over him. He didn't bow. He didn't give him that reverence, and that's what made Haman so angry. Okay, and that's just how we've been. Not to give the glory of the Lord unto another, because the Lord takes that very, very seriously. Verse 14, it says, they are dead, they shall not live. They are deceased, they shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them, and made all their memory to perish. And in about a hot minute, the Lord is about to make the memory of this place to perish. He's about to wipe away our captivity, our miseries, and our sorrow. It doesn't make sense that this is how we were created to live. That you walk outside and somebody can just walk up to you and stab you and just die. Like, this is how fragile the human body is. It takes only a few pounds of pressure to snap somebody's neck. You can be walking fine one day, slip without intention the other day, land your head on the edge of a pavement, and you're dead. Just like that, you're gone. It doesn't matter what you know, whether you had a family or not, just like that, you're gone. You know? And that's it. And so we only get one chance at this, and just that easily it's gone, and that's it. You know, you're born, and just as you're born, your body starts breaking down after a certain point. You hit 30 years old and you start declining. You know, there's so many like, the odds are stacked so heavily against us. How is this a paradise? How is this a joy? It doesn't make sense. This cannot be the end of it. Okay? The Lord did not create us to live this way. He created us to enjoy his creation as paradise. So we understand that there's more to this. And that's a part of the drive that keeps us going, because we've been blessed with the understanding that there's more to this. Our ambition is out of this world. We're not thinking of a 2020 Mercedes, you know, or a house with white picket fences, and that's not where our mind is at. Okay, we're thinking of chariots and planets, and you know, we're thinking big, but people look at it like it's crazy, but that's okay, because if you think big, you win big. If you believe it, then you shall receive it. That's the title right there. You know? But it says, thou hast increased the nation, O Lord, thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hadst removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. Lord, in trouble they have visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them. Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery is in pain, and crieth out in her pangs, so have we been in thy sight, O Lord. And that's exactly what we've been like. But we understand, as it says in the book of Micah, that I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. So that's the balance to it. Remember that we are hastening the day of the return of the Lord, and we're eagerly awaiting, you know, the Lord to come and deliver us and, you know, reward us and all of that. But keep in mind that we're also coming back seeking forgiveness. So we're not really in a position to be, you know, you got certain people that want to give the Lord a deadline or a timeline when the Lord got to come back. We're not really in a position to do that at all, because we are the ones who messed up and we are coming back. And when you mess up and you come back, you're coming back from a perspective of, you know, seeking forgiveness, not from a perspective as though the other party needs you, because it wasn't the other party that messed up. It wasn't the Lord that messed up. It was us. The scriptures say that when you come, you know, when you fall and you come back, you got to seek the Lord 10 times more. So how are we seeking our salvation? With fear and with trembling, not with entitlement and a you know, a proud spirit. What you're gonna get is not salvation. You're gonna get a different shin, which is destruction. All right. This is Isaiah 26:18. We have been with child. We have been in pain. This is it's poetic, right? It says, remember, it's a song. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Thy dead men shall live, together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. Which this is this was referring to the when Yahweh Shai died and rose, and you had all those saints that rose out from the dead as well. And also in this time when you're gonna have people rise up, the scriptures tell you the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. Okay, but you're also gonna have, as it says, the earth shall cast out the dead. Once again, there's another precept in here that backs that up. You're gonna have a period in time when those that died are gonna rise up again. Verse 20 says, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee." and the entering into our chambers is you can link it up with Revelation 18 as when it says, "Come up hither." All right, the voice that says, "Come up hither," which that's going to be literally when the elect get beamed up. But that is likened unto us entering into thy chambers, which are the chariots, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. So what is the indignation? The indignation is the thermonuclear destruction, along with the fire that's going to come from the chariots. Okay. But as the scripture said, it calls the missiles the weapons of the Lord's indignation. So what is he going to do with the weapons of his indignation? He's going to bring his wrath. He's going to unleash that wrath. And it's going to end with massive destruction, the likes that the world has never seen before, aka Jacob's trouble, pursuant to Jeremiah 30:7, Daniel 12:1, and other precepts. Okay, as it says, hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment. So that's going to be the period, Revelation 15:2. And John saw those that had gotten the victory over the beast standing upon the sea of glass mingled with fire, which was pretty much being above the firmament, looking down through the firmament. Okay, with the reason it likens it onto glass is because it's transparent. Okay, and then mingled with fire, because through the firmament, when you look down, you're gonna see the fire, the lake of fire, burning and melting and destroying, the different elements. Okay, it says here, verse 21, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity." So why are all the things in the world happening the way they are? Because of their iniquity. Did the Lord not punish the world back during the time of Noah for their iniquity? Yes, he did. And guess what? He's going to do it again in this time, because the world is going to learn what happens when you disobey and you don't follow the ways of the Lord. When your heart is desperately wicked, and the imaginations of your mind are continually evil, when the thoughts of the Most High are nowhere in your mind, and blasphemous, proud, arrogant incontinency is what's allowed to run rampant upon the face of the planet Earth. And so the Lord is going to unleash judgment, the likes of no other, as a remedy for the wickedness that we're seeing, which is the likes of no other. So it says, "The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain." All right, and that's pretty much it for Isaiah 26. I was going to go into Jeremiah, a couple of verses in Jeremiah 33, but I think, through the Spirit, I'll just end it here on Isaiah 26. But ultimately, going back to the title, Shalom Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Brakatah Wa Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Brakathum. Going back into the title, how will you be remembered? Okay, because ultimately, like I mentioned, it starts with in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. How does the Lord view you? Is the Lord pleased with you? Is he displeased with you? Do you have that connection with the Lord? It's very, very, very important that you build that personal connection with the Lord. Because if it's like when you're constantly around brothers, and we talk, in the spirit, we have spiritual conversations, but then when you're by yourself, it's like you don't communicate with the Lord. You don't pray. That shouldn't even be a thing for you not to pray. You should always be praying. That prayer is how you speak to the Lord. Prayer is your lifeline to the Lord. If you're not comfortable praying, or if you just pray just to recite or just to pray, you might want to work on that, and fast and feel the presence of the Lord, because you never know when you're going to end up by yourself and you're going to be in need. And the only one that you're going to be able to call upon is the Lord. And yet here you are feeling like a stranger to the Lord. That's not going to help you. So now that you have the instructions and the directions and the grace while the Lord may be found, take advantage of that and seek him. Don't just look around. No, seek. Matter of fact, you know what, to end it off, let me actually look up the word seek. Now I'm not going to share my screen right now. I'm just going to type it in and Lowell and read the definition. So the word seek, it says go in search or quest of, strive for, try to attain. It says search for, pursue, chase, long for, wish, desire. Like how you seek for a woman when you jump and you slide in them DMs, like the ninth inning in the World Series, and it's tied and you trying to win that world championship. You jump and slide right under the catcher's legs to try and touch that base to be safe. Yeah, you gotta pursue. You gotta pursue and seek the Lord. Not, oh, I tried and I didn't have any luck. Then that's not seeking. And that's why the Lord said, "Seek and ye shall find." Not just turn your head a little bit and get exhausted. No, seek. And if you truly seek, then you're gonna find. Look, one of them here says to track down, to seek out. So how do you seek out the ways of the Lord? You got to dig into the scriptures. Okay? That's it. Here for the ones who get it done. And that's the spirit. The Lord is here for the ones who get it done. If you get it done, the Lord is always going to be there for you. Okay? Yeah, so that's pretty much it on that. Let me see what's here. Yep, this is a good one. This is Modo Soul, Matthew 7:16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Eat every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Okay, so keep that in mind, and do your best with what the Lord has given you. Of course, we're not all, going to be on the same level. All right, everybody's been given a different measure, a different portion, but that's why the scriptures say don't compare yourself. If you're going to compare yourself with yourself, and look within and see, okay, you know what did the Lord give me? What do I have to work with? What do I have to work with? Hey, sometimes, like they say, they're like ghetto foods, like basically making delicious meals out of scrap, out of things that very little that you have, but you find a way to be creative with it and make something super dope. And then even restaurants and places that have all these ingredients want to make the same thing that you made. But it's not when people make those kinds of breakthrough dishes, it's not based on what they thought they needed, but what they had and what they could make from that. So, think of it like that. Make your own ghetto food, but take what you've been given, all right, and make the best that you can make with it. Because the Lord gave you different ingredients. The Lord gave you a different portion. So you got a different requirement. Okay. But look, do the best you can do. As long as you can see improvement in what the Lord has given you to do, that's growth. And the scriptures say growth. Everybody's growth may not look the same, but you gotta get accustomed to looking at what your growth looks like and just keep on doing that. Because when the Lord comes back, guess what? You may have been a brother that you may have been given one talent and turned it into another talent. Guess what? Lord will say, look, well done. Because I know that I gave you enough to where no matter how hard you tried, you were going to be able to bring one talent and you still did. And then the Lord might look at somebody else and say, I gave you 4 talents. You came back with 3. No. I was expecting 6. Get out of here. See, and you may be thinking, damn, I only got one. I only turned this one into another talent, but The Lord is he's judging you according to what he has put within you. Okay. Anyway, with that, Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kudash. And until next time, Shalom.